Hey, hello. Okay, not getting what you freaking want. This is big, right? What the H is going on if you're not getting what you want. And here's the deal with that, right? I just got home from Bali. It's so nice to be home. I was there for almost a month. The girls from the retreat and I had such a great time. And as I come home, there's like this thing sitting on me, right? Like we started the May group. Just did our second week of prep. We begin in like 5 days, whatever Monday is. And the girls are already having massive expansions. Like they're already like booking all these calls and booking everything, like had nothing and like already booking all this stuff. And we haven't even begun. We just started prep work, right? And here's the deal. Here's the real thing. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not going to BS. Like you say that you want what you want. And here's the thing. You are never going to get, I'm actually going to type this in here for you guys. Amanda, welcome home. Thanks, sister. Oh, I wish you were there with us in Bali. Oh, you got to come next time, Amanda. I love you. I love your ass. I'd love to hug you there. Oh, that's a cool hand waving. Sifax. Hello. I don't know how to say your name. I'm going to type this in for you guys because this is really big. How to get what you freaking want. I'm going to just straight tell you how to get what you want. And I don't know if anyone else teaches this about getting what you want or not. I've never really heard this, but I know it's true. And when I came home from Bali after this big trip and like seeing the girls and the May group already starting to freaking blow up and we haven't even started, which is hilarious. This is why I realized you don't get what you want. Okay. You don't get what you want. Like, I want this, I want that. Because normally wanting is a story of something you should have. Like, oh, I should have this, or I should have that, or I should do this, or I should do that, right? Like, if you think like, oh, this is how it should be, this is what I should have, you're not going to get it. I know. You get to have what you must have. Like, for so long, I heard people teaching all the time, like, you have to decide, you just must decide. And I was like, what does that friggin' even mean? Right? Well cherished, dear. What does it even mean? Like, you must decide. Like, tell me what decide is. I can't videotape that. I don't know what that is. How do I videotape deciding, right? Like Tony Robbins definitely says, like, a decision isn't made until an action's been taken. So technically you could videotape it, but what does it really mean to actually decide, right? And this is what I learned, right? You will not get anything that you feel like you should have or just want to have. You will only get the things that you feel like are a must. I must have that, right? There's no way in hell I was letting my children grow up the way that I had been growing up in my adult life, right? Like, I had children, I was like, oh my God, this life that I'm giving them is not the life that I'm willing to give them. Like, not happening. And it was a must for me to create something different so they had a different experience of life. It was a must. And that drove me really far. There were other things in there also that drove me that I must have it. I will, no matter what, right? Versus like, I really want that. I really want to be financially free. I really want to travel the world. I want to just be able to travel all the time, take my business with me. I want to be able to help people. I want to heal the world, right? Like, yeah, I know you do because you're a heart-centered, amazing person. Of course you want to do those things. Of course, it feels like I know there's a way to have it, so I should be doing this. I should have that, right? Like, I want the kind of body that I want to have. I want the kind of marriage and relationship. Like, I want to have all these things, but they're not a must, or else you would freaking have them. Think about it. Think about the things in your life, and you're like, no, it has to, like, it just has to happen. Like, it has to happen. I have to have that this way. I will not live one more day, one more minute, one more second living the way it is right now, and it has to change right now. Every single time you got to that place, it changed. Every single time you got to the other side of that, and that changed every freaking time. So let's learn from this. If you want to have the kind of business where you're healing lives and you're changing lives, and you must have financial freedom because you must travel the world and you must actually have that level of freedom and safety so that you finally exhale and you're enjoying life. If you must have it, then you wouldn't be showing up the way you're showing up. Otherwise you would have it. So the real question is like, how do you get what you want? It's what is it going to take for you to shift this into a must? How do you get to the place where you must have the thing that you're telling yourself you want? How can you shift it from a wanting to a must, a need? It's required. I have to have it. This is just the way it is. This is the way it has to be, period. right? That is the biggest shift in the world. You could even sit down and start writing down, how many times have I gotten to the place in my life where I'm like, this has to change. This has to be this way. I must have this experience of life. Like, this has to be different. Anyone who's a parent knows what that feels like. Like, I have to feel like I have the kind of life where I can protect my children. An absolute must. There's nothing you wouldn't do to create that. That feeling that you have, how can you apply that to the longings that you have in life? The things that you want, that you really want. I want financial freedom. I want to travel the world. I want to feel romance and love. I want to heal people. I want to be able to provide massive transformation for them. I want to have a freed up schedule so that I'm not like, I don't have to live on someone else's time, right? I want power to be able to help the people I love. How can you shift that into, I must have that, right? Like, this is some of the deepest work that I do with my clients, because it's really important to have it as a must. If it's not a must, you don't know why you're doing it, you're not going to do it. And then you're wondering why you're scrolling out and doing all this crap that's not even getting you what you want. And then you're like, see, it's so hard. My life is so hard. Trauma, 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 trauma. And then we get to be right about the story that our life is hard and that we can't have that, and that like somehow it's eluding us. Like, somehow this life that other people have figured out eludes us. Yeah, because it's a want and not a must. So what must you have? Like, literally, what must you have? If you're confused by it and you can't see it, that's okay. It's okay to be confused by it and not be able to see it. So then all you have to do is, Jalen's here. Hi, Jalen Wilson. Love you. Right? All you have to do is work backwards from the things that you have. Just look at the things you had. Like, if this is new for you and you're like, oh, okay, cool. Like, how do I create a must? I don't know. Well, one, you can join us in the May group because we're going to work through this. But two, right? Two is you could look at, what are the behaviors that I like, the rewards, the results that I already have, and why did I choose that? And what was the reason I followed through with that? And then you can start sniffing out like, oh, that's a motivating thing for me. Like, why did I jump in and do this and do X, Y, Z and get this result? Like, why, if you in really great shape, why do you have a great body? What is the thing driving you for you to do that? There's something. If you have a great marriage, why? Why was I willing to show up and do all that friggin' hard work to have a really fantastic marriage? There was something really powerful driving you. There was something you must have. There was an experience of life that you were like, it will be this way, period. And if you're feeling like there's no area of life that I want, then there's some work to be done there, right? Because it's never the whole world, right? It's never like all the circumstances are all, it's like wherever we go, there we are. And if every situation is like, oh, it's always bad for me, then guess who the bad seed is, right? It's like, cool, sometimes we're a bad seed. It's okay. It's not so significant. I've definitely been bad seed here and there. It's not a big deal. So what? Of course, that was the best I knew how to do right then. So then I just get to look at it and be like, okay, how do I shift this? But for most of us, there's an area you can look at where you're like, okay, I got pretty good results here. Why? How come? How's that a must for you? Does that make sense? And so if we're going to apply this to our business, it's really important for us to be like, okay, girl, how you been showing up? Has this been a must for you? Or do you just keep telling yourself, I want it? Because you're not going to get it if you just keep wanting it. This has to shift into a must, or you won't do the work. You won't show up. You won't make the scary investment. You won't opt into something really big, right? Like, you won't do those things if it's not a must for you. So our work together is to create this being a must for you. If you feel like, okay, this actually really resonates with me, if your ears can hear this, if your soul can hear me right now, if you're at this place, because not everybody's at this place, not everybody can really hear this. So if you've come a long enough way where you can really hear this and you can be like, I get it, I hear this. I get that if this doesn't shift into a must, I'm not going to show up and I'm not going to have all the things that I want. I'm not going to be able to crush it in this business. I'm ready to do that. My team does a complimentary call where they can help you get really clear on this, right? Really clear on like, how do I shift this into a must? Like, what's really going on? What's really friggin' stopping you, right? So I will have, let me tell you my assistant. And you post the link to a call, right? And also all this is just a call for awareness. Like, cool, where am I at on this journey? Like, all right, some people are going to be able to really hear this and really resonate when they're going to be like, oh, I get it. And other people are going to be like, I don't really know. And like, they're still seeing the world as like this scary, horrible place, and they're the victim of it. And like, that's okay. I was there too. And other people are like, yeah, I know the must. And now I'm just looking for full blown, like, kick my ass. Like, I know my must, and like, I'm showing up, but I'm still scrolling out a little bit, and I need someone to kick my ass. Great. We're the people for you for that too, right? We do ass kicking all day long. So true. I've noticed that when what I want does turn into a must, I shift to working harder for it, like a do or die kind of thing. Hell yes. And it's the perfect place to actually enjoy the process. We can enjoy it because it's like, we're aware that it's what we want. Like, this is what I want. I must have that. So it's like every single time we start to get the results, we're like, yeah, that much closer, right? Unless we're really out of the habit of celebrating, then sometimes we don't. And it's like never enough, right? But then cool, that's just information too. Okay, I suck at celebrating. That's awesome too, no problem, right? Craig's on here. Hey babe, will you post the link for a call with the team on here? I think Susan's not on. Okay, so does this make sense to you? How to get everything you freaking want is actually by freaking knowing why you want it, and why is this a must for you, and are you willing to go to the place where this is a must? Because that can be really scary. If you admit to yourself that this is something I have to have, like I must have this, I must have financial freedom, I must be able to travel the world, I must have this kind of lifestyle that I can pass on to my children, I must be able to go explore the planet and like have this freedom and create my own schedule and heal people's lives, like I must have this, then what comes right behind that is a crap ton of fear, like a crap ton of fear of like, but what if I don't then? If I admit that I really want this, then I'm vulnerable to being hurt if I can't have it. Right? Like, okay, cool. So the fear voice comes in, whatever. Okay, I heard you. I know you're afraid that I won't be able to have this, but the one way to make sure that you don't have it is to never make it a must, to never admit yourself that it's what you really want, and never be willing to like, okay, I'm just in both feet. I'm like, we play small and we hold back and we're not willing to go in both feet, and then we don't have it. And I'm like, see, I knew it. I knew it wouldn't have been safe to say that I wanted it. No, saying you wanted it and jumping in was the very start of you having it. It became a must. We admit it to ourselves. If you cannot say what you really want, you don't get to have it. That's it. Like, if you're not even admitting what you want, how could you possibly ever have it? And here's the thing, like, God and the universe, whatever resonates for you, it's really confused by like the whole, I really want this, but like, what, it doesn't know what to do with that. Right? Like, we have to give a clear signal, like, no, this is what I want. I'm clear that this is what I want, and I'm willing to go through like the process and really like drop in and go through what's required for me to get there, which is including me letting the stuff get dug up. Right? But like, how is God going to give you the thing that you want when you're not even being honest about what you want, when you're not setting that tone, when you're not putting that out there? Right? So getting what you want starts with you making it a must and owning how that feels. Does that make sense? All right, I don't think my husband put this link in there, so I'm going to put it in there for you guys. My team is not around right now, so I'll put it in there for you. And here's the other thing, right? Like, okay, it's cool if we're scared to step into this and we're scared to own what we really want, and we're scared to be like, okay, how does that feel for us to own that that's all the stuff we want? What are you going to do about that? Right? Like, the moment's going to come when we're afraid to own that, when we're afraid to step into that. And how do we show up when we're afraid of that? What do you do next when you're feeling that feeling? Right? Oh, here it is. I found it. Look at me knowing my team stuff. Very proud of myself. Okay, there's the booking link to sign up with the team if you're wanting to dig into this stuff, right? And like, it's okay. It's okay if you get nervous about starting to own this and starting to play with the idea of what does it feel like when I shift to a place of must having this? And like, you just get to watch yourself and learn about yourself. Like, okay, cool. What do I do when I get scared? Do I dig my heels in and press in? And am I like, I'm doing this. I know I'm scared. Do it with crap in my pants anyway. Or what are the excuses that come up? Because even if you choose excuses, it's okay. Like, none of it's a big deal. So you choose excuses, but you know what's really valuable? To note what those excuses are down. So next time it comes around, you start to be able to put your finger on it. Like, oh, this was the excuse that I used last time, and it stopped me from opting into the thing that I really wanted. Like, I'm going to start to hear these excuses. I'm going to start to actually notice them. They're not just going to like fly through and I didn't even be able to put my finger on it. There was no pulse on it. So getting to put your pulse on it is a huge step forward, right? So it's literally no judgment for any part of the process that you're in. There's no judgment for it. But here's an opportunity for you if moving forward in your business and being able to step into the life that you really want. Here's an opportunity for you. And so either way, it's all valuable information. And if none of it was like, oh no, I'm really clear that where I'm at is this and this and this, like that's really valuable information too. So if you want to get what you want, this is about being able to turn this into a must. This is about freaking admitting what you actually want so that you can begin the journey of saying like, hey God, I'm serious. Like I'm really clear that this is what I want. Now, can you please help me get there? So that God's not all confused. Like, well, what, like, oh, you want this, but no, but you really like, I really want to, be in a relationship and I want romance and I want to be married and I want to feel really loved by a man. But what I really want, what I'm really energetically putting out there is what I really want is to never get hurt again. And I want that more than I want a marriage. I want that more than I want romance. I want that more than I want to have someone in my life, right? So then it's like confusing to the universe. Well, how am I going to give that to you? Which one do you want? What do you want? What's your must? Are you really clear? Right? So this is the work to do in order to be able to get on the other side of having everything you want. Okay. Just see if I missed anything. Hey, Stephanie. Hey, Amanda. Hey, Mallory. Okay, so let me know if this resonated with you, right? Or if you get what I'm talking about this moment, right? Because there are quite a few people who are going to be ready to hear this moment. And if you're not and you're confused, let me know that too. And if you'd like to hop on a call with the team, there's a link below. And we start Monday. We officially start Monday. So I'll see you guys in there. Okay, love you. Thanks for the hearts and the likes.